In the rolling hills of rural Kentucky, where the air smells of damp earth and pine, Emily Carter's story began. She lived in a small trailer park, a place where dreams often felt as distant as the stars. Her family was loving, but life was hard. Her father worked long hours at the local coal mine, his hands stained with the dust of his labor. Her mother worked part-time at the diner, trying to make every dollar stretch. Money was always tight. The walls of their trailer were thin, and Emily could hear the worries in her parents' whispers late at night. She knew, even as a little girl, that life was a struggle. As the oldest of 4 children, Emily carried a heavy load on her small shoulders. While other kids played after school, she was at home. She helped her mother cook dinner and clean the house. She looked after her younger siblings, changing diapers and reading them bedtime stories. She learned to be responsible before she learned her multiplication tables. It was not a choice, it was a necessity. Her childhood was filled with the duties of an adult, but she never complained. She understood that her family needed her. This early responsibility shaped her character, building a foundation of strength and resilience that would carry her through life. The world outside her trailer park often felt like another planet. She saw families on television who had big houses and fancy cars. She saw kids who went on vacations and had brand new clothes. Emily didn't feel envy. Instead, a quiet determination began to grow inside her. She believed that there had to be something more out there for her. She knew that her current circumstances did not have to be her final destination. This belief was like a tiny seed planted in her heart. It was a private hope that she nurtured in the quiet moments, a promise she made to herself that one day, she would build a different life. Her parents, despite their own hardships, gave her the greatest gift they could, their belief in her. They saw the fire in her eyes. They knew she was different. Her father would come home tired and covered in soot and tell her, "Emily, you have a good head on your shoulders. You can do anything you set your mind to." Her mother would hug her tight and say, "You are smart, my girl. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise." These words were her fuel. They were the encouragement she needed to look beyond the trailer park and dream of a future where she could be in control of her own story. School was Emily's sanctuary. It was a place where her mind could be free. In the classroom, she was not just a girl from a poor family. She was a student, and she was a good one. She listened carefully to her teachers and did her homework with great care. She loved to learn. Every new fact, every new idea was a window to a bigger world. She was quiet in class, never the one to raise her hand first, but her silence was not shyness. It was focus. She was absorbing everything, piecing together a map that would lead her out of the life she knew and into the life she wanted. When she wasn't at school or helping at home, Emily found 2 other escapes, the local library and a nearby horse stable. The library was her haven. It was a quiet, peaceful place filled with endless possibilities. She read everything she could get her hands on, novels, history books, and especially science books. The world of science fascinated her. It was logical and clear. It explained how things worked, from the human body to the distant stars. The library was where she discovered that knowledge was power. It was a power that no one could take away from her, a power she could build one book at a time. Her other escape was the stable. She convinced the owner, a kind old man named Mr. Henderson, to let her work there in exchange for riding lessons. She mucked out stalls, groomed the horses, and hauled heavy bales of hay. The work was hard, but she didn't mind. Being around the horses calmed her spirit. They were strong, graceful animals, and they didn't care where she came from. At the stable, she learned about discipline and patience. She learned that if you care for something, it will thrive. This lesson stayed with her, a simple truth she would apply to every part of her life. Through these experiences, Emily built a quiet but unshakable determination. Her days were long and tiring. She would wake up before dawn to help her mother, go to school, work at the stable, and then stay up late studying. Most people would have given up, but Emily was different. Every hardship made her stronger. Every challenge made her more focused. She was on a mission, a silent and personal quest. She was not just trying to get good grades, she was trying to build a future. She was proving to herself that her circumstances did not define her, her hard work and her spirit would. In high school, Emily's hard work began to pay off in big ways. She became one of the top students in her class. Her teachers were amazed by her dedication. She never missed an assignment. She always scored high on tests. While many of her classmates were focused on parties and dating, Emily was focused on her books. She knew that a good education was her only ticket out. Her grade point average, or GPA, was nearly perfect. It was a testament to the countless hours she had spent studying at her small kitchen table, long after her family had gone to sleep. Her dream was to go to college. It was a dream that seemed almost impossible for a girl from her background. College was expensive, and her family had no money to spare, but Emily did not let that stop her. She spent hours in the school library, researching scholarships. She applied for every single one she could find. She wrote powerful essays about her life, her struggles, and her dreams for the future. Her guidance counselor, Mrs. Davis, was a great help. She saw the potential in Emily and guided her through the complicated application process. Mrs. Davis believed in her, and that belief gave Emily even more strength. The day the acceptance letters started to arrive was a day of great joy for the Carter family. Emily was accepted into several universities, including her top choice, a well-respected state university with a strong science program. Her family was so proud. Her father cried tears of joy, something Emily had never seen before. Her mother hugged her and whispered, "I knew you could do it." It was a moment of pure triumph, a validation of all her years of hard work. She had done it. She had proven that a girl from a trailer park in Kentucky could compete with anyone. Even with a partial scholarship, college was still a huge financial challenge. The scholarship covered her tuition, but she still needed money for books, housing, and food. So, Emily did what she had always done. She went to work. The summer before college, she worked 2 jobs. She waited tables at the local diner and continued her work at the stable. She saved every penny she earned. She was not just preparing for college, she was investing in her future. She was determined to make her dream a reality, no matter how much work it took. Her journey was just beginning. College was a whole new world for Emily. She was surrounded by students from wealthy families, students who had never known a day of financial struggle. They had new laptops, designer clothes, and cars. Emily arrived with 2 suitcases of second-hand clothes and a fierce determination to succeed. She felt like an outsider at first. She was honestly intimidated by the large lecture halls and the confident students who seemed to know everything. But she reminded herself why she was there. She was not there to fit in. She was there to get an education and build a better life for herself and her family. To pay for her living expenses, Emily had to work multiple jobs. She worked in the university library, shelving books in the quiet early mornings. She worked as a waitress at a restaurant near campus, often getting home late at night. On weekends, she cleaned houses for some of the professors. Her schedule was honestly grueling. She had very little time for a social life. While other students went to football games and parties, Emily was either working or studying. It was a lonely time for her, but she never lost sight of her goal. She knew that these sacrifices were temporary investments in a permanent future. Her focus was incredible. She refused to be distracted. She saw other students from similar backgrounds get caught up in the party scene and fail their classes. Emily knew she could not afford to make that mistake. She had worked too hard to get here. Every moment was precious. She organized her time with military precision. She studied between her work shifts, on the bus, and during her lunch breaks. Her dorm room was not a place for socializing, it was her command center, a place for studying and planning. Her discipline was her shield against the temptations that could derail her dreams. Despite the challenges, Emily excelled in her studies. She chose to major in biology, a subject she had loved since she was a little girl reading science books in the library. Her professors were impressed by her intelligence and her work ethic. She asked thoughtful questions in class and spent extra time in the lab. She was not just learning the material, she was mastering it. College was not just about getting a degree for Emily, it was about gaining the knowledge and skills she needed to take control of her destiny. It was a test of her will, and she was passing with flying colors. After graduating from college with top honors, Emily faced a new challenge: what to do next. She had her biology degree, but she didn't want to work in a lab. She wanted to share her passion for science with the world. She wanted to help people understand their own bodies and live healthier lives. She remembered her own family's struggles with health, often linked to stress and poor nutrition. She realized she could use her scientific knowledge to make a real difference. An idea began to form in her mind, an idea that would combine her love of science with her desire to help others. Emily decided to start a blog. She called it The Wellness Equation. It was a simple website where she wrote about health and wellness from a science-based perspective. She broke down complex topics like nutrition, exercise, and mental health into easy-to-understand articles. She used her biology background to explain the why behind her advice. She wrote about how certain foods affect your brain chemistry, how exercise builds stronger cells, and how mindfulness can reduce stress hormones. Her writing was clear, honest, and relatable. She was not selling a miracle cure. She was sharing credible scientific information. At first, only a few people read her blog, but Emily was patient. She continued to write high-quality content every week. She posted her articles on social media and engaged with her small community of readers. Then one day, one of her articles went viral. It was an article about the science of sleep and how it affects every aspect of health. People loved it. They shared it with their friends and family. Suddenly, thousands of people were visiting her blog every day. They trusted her because she backed up everything she said with research. Her audience grew rapidly. The success of her blog opened up new doors. Companies wanted to partner with her. Publishers wanted her to write a book. Emily realized she had created more than just a blog. She had built a brand. She turned the wellness equation into a business. She hired a small team to help her create more content, including videos and online courses. She became the CEO of her own company. The girl who grew up in a trailer park was now a successful entrepreneur. She had used her passion and her knowledge to create a thriving business that was helping people all over the world. Today, Emily Carter is more than just a CEO. She is a respected leader in the wellness industry and a powerful public speaker. She travels the country sharing her story with thousands of people. She speaks at schools, conferences, and community events. Her message is simple but profound. Your circumstances do not determine your destiny. She stands on stage, confident and poised, and tells a new generation of young people that they have the power to create the life they want. She is living proof that anything is possible with hard work and determination. She often talks about her childhood in Kentucky. She doesn't hide her past. She embraces it. She believes her struggles made her strong. She tells young girls, don't be ashamed of where you come from. Let it be your fuel. Let it make you hungry for a better future. Her story resonates with people from all walks of life, especially those who feel like outsiders. She gives them hope. She shows them that success is not just for the privileged. It is for anyone who is willing to work for it, to fight for it, and to never give up on their dreams. Emily has not forgotten her roots. She has started a foundation that provides scholarships to students from low-income families in rural areas. She wants to give other young people the same opportunity she had. She knows that talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. Her foundation is her way of paying it forward, of creating a pathway to success for others who are starting with very little. She is not just a role model, she is a mentor and a benefactor, creating a legacy of empowerment and change. Her final message is always one of commitment. Success is not an accident, she says. It is not about luck or privilege, it is about commitment. You have to commit to your dream. You have to commit to working hard, even when you're tired. You have to commit to believing in yourself, even when no one else does. Emily Carter's journey from a trailer park to triumph is a powerful reminder for us all. It shows us that the human spirit is strong. It proves that with unwavering commitment and a belief in ourselves, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve the extraordinary.